We're back! Welcome to Ask M&R episode 182 of this series where I answer your questions. I got a little homesick, so I came home early, but the other day I did have an amazing time at Atlanta Brick Co. I did like a little fan meetup, and I think about 20 people came and said hi and brought flowers, battle packs, and I signed them, and it was an absolutely amazing time, so thanks to the people that came there. And for other people that are interested, I will be at Brick Fair, Virginia this year, so if you need tickets, you can get them on the Brick Fair website. I wasn't cool enough to get a discount code, so I think I'm in the wrong business. We interrupt your regularly scheduled program to announce that next week's episode will be a 2-for-1. Timmy, aka Republic Bricks, will be visiting, so if you have any questions specific to him or for both him and I, those types of questions would be greatly appreciated because I'll be doing next week's episode with him. Now, on top of that, part of the reason he is visiting is because he had this really good idea to help me sell some of my excess Lego that I don't want to keep around when I move, because I'm actively searching for a house, and whether I find one in a day or in 100 days, it's gonna happen eventually. So he is visiting. We're doing kind of an M&R move and out sale. I have made a brand new Instagram account for it called M&R Sells. I will link it down in the description below. It will be happening this weekend. Everything will be sold specifically through that Instagram account. So if you are interested in buying things, go follow that Instagram account. I'm sure we'll be doing Instagram live streams, and I'll be doing posts on there selling things like just buy it now or whatever, and we'll have all the details for how to pay and get stuff shipped to you on that account. Anyway, let's hop into the rest of the episode. First up from Diamond Arm 100-409. He says, did you see the LegoCon 2021 article saying that LegoCon was a hit? What do you think about that? So here it is, and this is from the official Lego press release or whatever, and it says, first ever LegoCon takes off with great success and leaves fans dazzled by an abundance of Lego news and action. Wow, I mean, I couldn't write a better headline if I tried. This event missed the mark on a lot of marks, and unfortunately, Lego doesn't seem to recognize that. It's basically just something they wrote before the LegoCon, and clearly were like, we're gonna put this out so people think good things about us, even though they knew full well LegoCon was gonna be a disaster because it was just conceptually flawed from the beginning. It wasn't what the community wanted. Nobody, like, I had an absurd amount of viewers on my live stream waiting for a UCS gunship reveal, and it didn't happen. I really don't want to go too deep into it, but this article is pretty funny, like that they have the audacity to release this and be like, we unveiled new products and all of these things, and it's like, no, you didn't do any of this. We went behind the scenes with Lego Designer. I mean, technically, I guess. Interactive engagement throughout the event. Oh yes, Lego Dots, yeah, they spent more time on Lego Dots than anything else. They are desperate to sell Lego Dots, and it won't even sell when it's on 70% off clearance at my Target. I've seen it. It's not good. But it's very apparent to me what LegoCon should have been for what everyone on the internet wanted it to be. I know the vocal minority will be like, it was good, or the people on LAN will be like, it was good, you guys are being too harsh, and you get all that. It's pretty funny, honestly. But I think the last week is just prime example of what LegoCon should have been. They released the Lego Creator Truck or something, and that actually looks really good. Actually, I might buy that. And then they released, it got leaked, the Mandalorian Forge set. Like, why didn't you just reveal these things at LegoCon? Like, why? Like, just because the event in your mind is for families and kids, when clearly 8,000 people were watching my stream and were actually very interested in seeing something like a UCS gunship, obviously, doesn't mean you can't do reveals of cool new stuff. Because the families and kids target audience, which clearly probably didn't hit, is probably going to like it more if you're showing something new anyway. I don't know. That article to me shows the massive disconnect between Lego and its fans, which I have known about for quite a while myself with my personal experiences.
Hey, yo, Scott here. This is it. They're going to reveal really bad game. I can't wait to see it. Maybe it'll be good! But first, they have to show up the game. Technical difficulties, please wait. And then after that, they're going to reveal the game. There is a fire backstage. Please exit immediately. I really hope that's a working title.
Oh my god, it's happening. The big event! It's gonna be a barrage of new content in an industry I love. This is gonna be the greatest.
It's because life is a journey. Finding out who we are, or learning to accept.
What the f is a 41%?
Justin Alexander says the Darksaber has appeared now in the Clone Wars, Rebels, and the Mandalorian, and hasn't got a dedicated mold yet. Rada the Hutt. Well, Rada the Hutt, to be fair, needed one regardless for sure. He couldn't have been made out of other things. He is a 3-piece custom mold after appearing in one forgettable movie. Why won't they do a Darksaber mold? It seems obvious. I agree. It seems obvious, and it quite frankly is obvious. They have done a mold for the Sword of Gryffindor, which has appeared in maybe 3 things now, maybe 2 things, and the Darksaber is not too far behind that. I think has been in 2 sets now and will certainly be in sets in the future, given its importance to the storyline at this point, as far as I can tell, for The Mandalorian. So, like, why it's not getting a mold is beyond me. LEGO Star Wars continues to fail on just basic stuff like that to me, and it's really a shame because the Darksaber thing just doesn't fit.
But no detail is left unturned. Every little garment and weapon and accessory is has to be perfect.
Birdology says, hey Ryan, if you could decide what a $1,000 LEGO set, UCS playset, or Master Builder series, what would you decide? So essentially I'm going to take this question and twist a little bit. Basically, what do I think would be the first $1,000 LEGO Star Wars set? Because we're heading there. It's going to happen eventually. Because, of course, there was a time, a decade ago, when the most expensive LEGO Star Wars set ever was $500. And here we are a decade later where the most expensive LEGO Star Wars set ever is $800 with the UCS Millennium Falcon, with another $800 set in the UCS AT-AT coming out later this year, and a $700 set in the Star Destroyer that came out 2 years ago. So we look at this and we can see the trend. Sets are getting more expensive, at least on the high end. Of course, they'll always have cheap stuff and stuff in the middle and stuff on the high end of the middle. But of course, the big stuff is going to continue to get more expensive as they continue to be able to do bigger and more complex and cooler things. And of course, inflation plays into this as well. If I had to guess, by the end of this decade, we will absolutely see our first $1,000 LEGO set, whether that be Star Wars or not. I would guess it would be Star Wars. Star Wars seems to be the one to push the boundary with this sort of thing, and it seems pretty sensible as it is their biggest theme. In my opinion, it won't be a playset. It can't be. Because if it's a playset, or Master Builder series, same concept there, I know you asked both in the question, but if it's one of those, it doesn't work because parents are only going to be willing to spend so much and you're going to lose out on a lot of that money there. And then, of course, the collectors like myself, and while I buy all of the LEGO Star Wars sets, maybe there's a lot of people watching this video that would buy a $1,000 LEGO Star Wars set, but only if it's going to look really kick-ass on display. It's got to look awesome. It has to really stand out. And so I can't possibly see them doing a Master Builder series or a playset style thing at $1,000. Given that, there are basically 3 things that I think could even touch the $1,000 mark in the future. And that is another Star Destroyer, another Millennium Falcon, or Super Star Destroyer, maybe? I mean, it seems really out there, but, like, it would be pretty big, like, if they came back in and did a really, really big one that's basically twice the size of what the old one was. That's where you can get into that $1,000 range, potentially. There aren't many other things I could see hitting that $1,000 mark. The Millennium Falcon, maybe, but, like, they're not going to make it bigger than the one they've already got, so really the only way that one hits 1,000 is with inflation. And to be fair, the Millennium Falcon, when it came out in 2017, did retail for $800 US, but now with inflation, that would cost $878, which is pretty crazy that LEGO hasn't changed the price on that set. It gives you some idea of maybe what their margins are and kind of what they kind of plan ahead for as far as the pricing of things goes. With something like that, you may look at it as overpriced in 2017, but if you're buying it now, technically aren't you saving $75? But the only other reasonably big thing that's iconic enough to sell at $1,000 price point within the next decade, of course, over 100 years, inflation's going to be crazy, I'm sure, and then things being $1,000 might be normal. But in a short-term sense, the Death Star to me is the only thing that could potentially hit that price point and actually sell very well because it's the effing Death Star. And to hit that $1,000, you would have to be unreasonably large, which makes me feel like there's a stopper there. But also, if they did it as a playset with a display function to it, maybe. I think they will shy away from trying to hit that. I think they will eventually hit it, but I think they're going to try not to because $1,000 is quite a barrier to entry, and it's this really big mental thing. When the first $1,000 LEGO set happens, it will be news. It will absolutely have to be on like CNN, NBC, Fox. Like you'll see it on all the news channels. They'll run their 60-second. Remember Legos as a kid? Well, now they're more expensive than your car, and it'll be that, you know, those types of news things. So yeah, I'm very excited for the day it happens because I think it'll be really interesting and like just seeing the conversation on it. Hopefully it wasn't too long-winded, but let me know what you think the first $1,000 LEGO Star Wars, or otherwise, maybe you think another LEGO set might hit $1,000 first, would be in the comments below. Salvador Animation says, do you think the reason the first LEGO Con was bad is so the second one could be better? I mean, that is a way to look at it. I genuinely don't think they can do worse, so, I mean, I expect the second one to be better, and I'll certainly be doing another watch party. It was an absolute blast the first time. Key Creation says, why does LEGO put an age thing on boxes? It seems like nobody pays attention to them. Ryan buys battle packs, even though most of them are for ages 6 to 12. The ages, realistically, are really for parents to look at something and be like, can my child build this? Anything outside of that, it doesn't matter. Like, right, you can make your own decision and be like, I just want this thing because I think it's cool, and that's all that really matters at the end of the day. But for like a parent buying a gift, you got to have the age on there. My neighbor has a kid and he's 5 years old. And let's say I was going to buy him a birthday gift because he's having a birthday party. And I want to go into Walmart and I want to pick out a Lego set. It's really simple what the age thing is for. It's so that someone, and let's say I have no knowledge of Lego or very little. I walk in, I'm like, this is a good toy. These are popular. Kids like these. And so I go and I say, hey, I got to pick one of these, but I don't want to end up buying something that's for 12-year-olds because a 5-year-old can't build a 12-year-old set, because the building techniques are too difficult. I saw him try to build a Lego set when they were on vacation with us. It's not easy for 5-year-olds to build complex things. It just isn't. And so that's why the age thing is there. That's like realistically the best reason to have it, and it should stay there because it's important for those people. Miles Scott says, do you ever think we'll get more Rogue One sets, and when do you think that would be? So Black Series is just coming out with a whole wave of Rogue One Black Series characters. LEGO can do it whenever, to be clear, because Black Series is doing it. It's not like Disney's stopping them. So as far as when, I think we might get a couple around when the Cassian Andor show comes out, because obviously that would have some ties to Rogue One, or the most ties of anything, really. And the way I personally see it happening is kind of with the Spider-Man Far From Home sets. There was Spider-Man No Way Home. There was like the one set that was Spider-Man No Way Home. And then you had a couple other sets in the wave that was like it had the same like logo Spider-Man No Way Home, but then it's like inspired from this old Spider-Man movie Far From Home. So I could see them potentially, when Cassian Andor show comes out, if Disney doesn't give them enough stuff up front to make like 3 or 4 Cassian Andor show sets, that they come and they say, here's 2 Cassian Andor show sets along with 2 sets from Rogue One that might, have some relevance in Cassian Andor, might not, but they're still tied in some way. So that's my best guess as to when that sort of thing would happen. That's when it would be most popular. So this one's pretty eye-opening. Quetzal says, I know the sequel trilogy is a lot less popular than the others for a plethora of reasons, still made a lot of money at the box office, but it still surprises me that 2 years later we haven't gotten an Exagol set, Palpatine, Rey, Ben Solo final duel. Do you think we could expect one anytime soon, or is it completely out of the picture? In my opinion, it's out of the picture, but like, it shouldn't be. Like, they should just make it because it's a really cool scene from the final Star Wars Skywalker saga movie. And, like, it's really weird because there wasn't a lot of merchandise around that final scene at all. Like, from anybody. Not just LEGO. The only Palpatine merch I could find from Episode 9, I think, was a Funko Pop. And maybe there's more. Maybe my Google search wasn't too in-depth. But the Funko Pop was like the only thing I found of Episode 9 Palpatine. There's no Lego figure of Episode 9 Palpatine. Why is beyond me. Why they didn't just make one for like May the 4th or something would have been really cool. I wish they would make it a set. There have been some really well done custom versions of what this set could look like. Some really good concepts. But as far as an official one, it just seems like it is off the table. Henry Franken says, I've been offered a job as a brick specialist at the LEGO Store Mall of America. In your opinion, should I take it? Absolutely. I don't know what they're paying. Definitely better than minimum wage, right? But, I mean, you like LEGO, clearly you're watching this video, and so you have that going for you. I mean, I would take it. It's a summer job. You don't have to keep it forever. Maybe you want to. Maybe you want to work through the ranks of LEGO. But yeah, you should absolutely take the job. There's a lot of good benefits too. Mostly, you get 50% off LEGO as a store employee, so like, you're going to be getting $15 first battle packs and half price of whatever else you want. Now, there's a limit to that, but you still get half price stuff, and that's something you really can't be passing up if you have the opportunity. Like, obviously you probably don't have a full-time job offer, so yeah, take your part-time job offer and run with it for the summer, have a great time. It just seems like a relatively easy retail job, with like, parents come in or other LEGO fans come in and you talk about LEGO. Ataberg says, do you think LEGO is going to make a Dark Trooper battle pack in the future? So I'm pretty sure I know where this question's coming from. There was a meme going around, I don't know if I want to call it a meme, but there's an image showing like, the character shows up in a LEGO set, and then the next year it comes out as a battle pack. And the meme is a little bit, or the image is a little bit misleading because it implies that it happens the next year. And they're like, so Dark Trooper Battle Pack 2022? Because like Senate Commandos came out in 2011, and then the battle pack came out in 2015, but in the picture it doesn't make that very clear. And then the other one was a Praetorian Guard coming out in 2018, and then coming out in a battle pack in 2019. And The rationale for this is LEGO's made a new mold and they want to get their money out of the new mold. So first they'll make you pay $160 if you want it first. You'll buy the expensive set. And then if you're patient enough, you'll get lucky and they'll release it in a $15 set. So you say in the future and you don't specify 2022, always possible it could come out in the future. But my point is, I don't think there's any true battle packs as we knew them in 2022. That's what I believe to be true. I have to choose my words careful because people like to pick me apart and be like, you lied. Like, I'm just telling you what I can, man. But there is a potential for another thing to contain Dark Troopers at a cheap price, and I'm just not gonna get too deep into it. While that picture that you're looking at is not as straightforward as it wants to be, it is possible that they will come in a cheaper battle pack like set in 2022. At this point, it's just not known. So I would guess yes. I would guess yes. And I really only guess yes because of the way they did the Death Troopers in 2016, 2017. So I could see this going very much the same way, where they want you to buy the big expensive set, and then we'll get our money's worth out of a battle pack with mass production and higher mass production. They're already mass producing this, obviously. Jawa says, what common accusation in the LEGO community is more annoying to hear in your opinion? 1, you're not a real LEGO fan unless you build MOCs. 2, why are you complaining you got the set for free? 3, it doesn't matter that the set is inaccurate because it's a kid's toy, etc.
But no detail is left unturned. Every little garment and weapon and accessory is yeah, has to be perfect.
The one that's actually mildly infuriating has to be the, oh, it's just a kid's toy argument, because it's just not. And I don't really want to get into it, but like, it's really ironic to me when people are having a conversation about a thing, not being toxic as the other people like to say, but literally just having a conversation about it, talking about why they think it's one way or the other. And then some guy comes in and it's just like, it's just a kid's toy, get over it. And it's like, if it's just a kid's toy, why are you here? To me, it is the ultimate argument of someone who doesn't have one. And I've really gotten in a habit of completely not replying to people that say that. And I'll usually just block them from the channel if they say it on my channel. Keegan wants to know, what is your NBA Finals predictions? Suns in 4, man. Suns in 4. That's going to wrap it for this episode of Ask M&R Productions. If you have a question you want to answer in next week's episode, leave in the comments section down below. If you enjoyed this week's episode, give it a like, and I'll see you next week. Peace out.